Up till now we have seen all the required steps in order to set an online e-commerce. We have actually worked from the back office where we set up some of the preferences, where we set up some of the parameters, and we looked at the administration and lastly how to add some products and some categories, attributes and everything else. We have also looked at the front office and the actual look and feel, how we can go about changing the themes of our online store, how we can add some photos, different pictures for different products and whatnot. So up to now we have pretty much covered everything that is really needed to have this online store, except for one very important thing, and that's actually the payment methods. So let's go ahead now and have a look. We'll have a look at the payment methods. Now Prestashop has done a lot of stuff to make online commerce web creation very easily, and when it comes to the payment methods the situation is exactly the same. Okay, so what I'll do, let's go into the modules, and the last option there is actually payment. If we click on payment, this will actually open all the available modules for payment. So we have the PayPal, we have Yes by Cash, PayMill, Skrill and a few others, and for most of this they're actually free and you can install them really easily. The bank wire and the payment by check come pre-installed, as you can see, and you can go and configure them here. Okay, so what I've done just before is I actually installed PayPal, and we'll see how to go about setting up the PayPal account. Okay, so instead of clicking on an install button like this one here, I have already done that for the PayPal, and I'll just hit on the configure button. Now you can add up as many as you like of those payment methods, but basically you would add some that are pretty much used all over the world, and one of them is definitely PayPal. Okay, so this is what the configuration page for the PayPal looks like, and downloading and reading the PayPal integration guide on Prestashop will actually give you a few more hints and steps how to go about actually configuring the settings for the PayPal. Okay, now the very important thing here is the very first question here, that is actually asking you whether or not you already have a PayPal business account. If you say yes, you would actually go down and you would enter the information. However, if you choose no, you're actually going to create an account for your website, and that account will be on PayPal. Okay, so also you can choose your country here, and mine for some reason is France. I can hit on change and then I can select the country from my list. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but I'll actually leave this as no, and I'll move down. Now the very first step here is select your solution. Now you can choose a website with payment standard, or you can actually choose a website with payments pro hosted. Now for this you have to pay a fee, and for my particular case it's actually this much, and it's actually in pounds. Okay, after that it's actually going to ask you whether or not you need a PayPal in addition to your existing card processor. Basically, if you have something some sort of a module that's actually to do with payments, but it's actually integrating PayPal into your account, you would actually choose this. Okay, so I do not have that, and I'll just make sure that this option here is selected. So I'm choosing a website payments standard. Okay, so we move a bit more down, and this is the second step here, where you would actually go and create an PayPal account. Like I've said, you can always go and hit on yes if you already have a PayPal business account, and you would just need to enter some information. However, I do not have that, and I'm going to hit on the sign up button. A page like this will show up. All the way to the top you'll find sign in and log in. Let's go sign up and log in. Let's go and sign up. Personal account or business, I'm going to choose business account and click on the continue. The reason why I'm choosing a business account, because I have an online business running, and that's why I need an PayPal business account. Okay, first thing it's gonna ask is the email address. After entering the email address, we'll hit on the continue button, and here it's gonna ask for a few more things like the password. Alright, so after you have entered very basic information, you're ready to hit on the agree and continue. And basically what you're agreeing here with are the user agreement, the privacy policy, and the actual key payment and service information. So you can follow those links. So there's 3 links here and you can read those documents. So the user agreement, the privacy policy, and the last option here is the key payment and service information. Read those, and if you do agree with those, come back and hit on agree and continue. The next page is gonna ask a few more questions about the business. So the very first question is what is the business type? Well, actually I'm going to say it's a private company. The business category, I'm gonna say it's clothing. What subcategory? I'm going to say, let's say men's clothing, and I can enter the URL here if I wanted to. I'll hit on the continue button now. It's gonna ask a few more questions here. The first one would be the date of birth and the address here, but actually you can use the same address as you have entered in step 1 when you were actually entering the information in the section called get started. And I'll do that, and I'll just check on this box here and I'll hit on the continue. After this, PayPal will open a page like this, where actually you can choose why you are setting up your payment method. Okay, so on the right hand side, basically on the left hand side, there's a big question: how do you want to get this? How do you want to get paid? Very first option here is on your website, in person, with online invoicing, or eBay. So we're going to select the very first one, and I'm going to hit on the continue button. Okay, so now how do you want to proceed payments on your website? Whether or not you would like to have it just like this, already accepted card payments, add PayPal checkout as another way of getting paid. Since I do not have the very first option, which is presented here on the left, I'm going to select this. So basically when you have this way of payments, so process all payments including debit and credit cards through PayPal. Okay, so if you already have this option to accept payments through the debit and credit cards, you would go for the second option here, which would just add the PayPal checkout on your website. Okay, so since we do not have the cards as our way of payment, I'm going to select the very first option and I'm going to hit on the continue. Okay, so now we come to the 2 options, option A and option B, and basically here what it's asking us is how do we want to set up the PayPal account on our website. Alright, so there's 2 options. We have option A and option B, just like I have mentioned before, and option A is to do with actual partner that it's already integrated with the PayPal, and the second one is actually creating a button here that you can put on your web page using the HTML code. Now you can choose either one of those, but let's go and set up something that's called the API access. So we'll click on that one, and basically we have the 2 options here. And if you can read through all of these options, but if you just look at the last links here, so grant API permission and request. Let's go and request the API credentials. Okay, what we need to do first is actually go to our email account and confirm that we actually are the owners of this email. Okay, so I actually opened my email account that I have entered when I was creating the PayPal account, and you can see I have 2 new messages here. Let's go here, and the very first one is actually saying set up your PayPal business account. You can read the information. Let's get started now. Okay, this will open a new tab where we have to enter our email and password. Alright, once you have entered that, hit on the login, and I was gonna ask some questions, so you can enter this information here. Alright, so once you're done with that, hit on the submit button. Alright, we're back to the same option. Let's go and set up the API access. request. Alright, then basically this is where we are going to get our username, our password, and something that's called a signature. Okay, we have the T options here. We can actually request API signature, and we can actually request the actual certificate. I'm going to go with the signature and just click on agree and submit. Once this is done, I'll have the information like this, and I'm going to hit on done. Going back to my email, this is the new email that I will get, and once I open this, I'll find information about my credentials. Okay, please click on the link below to log into your account and get your API credentials. Okay, so click on that and it's gonna open a new page, and I'll do exactly the same, and only this time I'm going to hit on show all of this. Alright, now the reason why I have done this is when I go back to my Prestashop. So let's go back to my Prestashop, and first of all let's for example copy my username. Copy. Okay, so I'll go down, and here I have to enter that username, so I'll just paste it like so. I'll move back to PayPal. I'll get my password. I'll paste that one in here, and lastly I'll get the signature. With the signature, make sure, if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, make sure you select the whole word, all the characters and everything else. You copy them and just go to Prestashop and paste that. Okay, so I have done that. I have just created a PayPal account, and I have actually imported all the information here from my Prestashop. Okay, I've done that. Now the configuration options here. So once again, we are setting up the PayPal module for our online store. Alright, so we come to the configuration options here. Express checkout shortcut, yes or no. We can put it as yes. Now use PayPal in contact checkout, yes or no. I'll actually put this to yes. Basically what this is doing is making, you have the information here, make your client pay without leaving your website, which I think is a good idea, so they will not have to go to the PayPal's website and log in and everything else. They can do that right on my website. Use the PayPal login functionality, yes or no. Use the sandbox, and the last option here is the payment type, whether or not I would like to have this as a direct sale or the actual authorization manual capture payment shipping. Alright, so once we're done with that, I'll hit on the save button. It's actually going to ask me whether or not I would like to save this password and the username, so I can say yes, and there it is. So it actually says, congratulations, you can now start receiving payments with PayPal. So basically what we have just done is we have enabled PayPal module on our online store. Now to actually see your balance and whether or not someone has actually paid for the items they're buying, you would have to go back to the PayPal's site. Alright, and here you can go and log in, and after that hit on the summary link here, and this will actually give you more info about your account and your invoicing, and you can request money, you can send money, business setup, and a few other things as well. But the most important thing here is the available amount of money you have here and the actual transactions. Okay, so let's go back to Prestashop. Alright, so we have actually seen how easy it is to set up PayPal account on Prestashop using the modules. Now, like I said before, there are quite a lot of modules here, and they pretty much all follow the same procedure when it comes to registering and everything else. So basically you would have to register with one of those, and you would have to have some sort of a bank account. Even with PayPal, you would actually go into settings and set up your account there as well. So it's quite easy, and it's done in just a few steps.